Welcome back to AM Northwest. Our next guest was looking for a project as he transitioned to retirement. So he set a challenge for himself. Play the nation's top 100 golf courses, but do it in just 1 year. His new memoir, Playing from the Rough, details not only his time touring courses across the country, but his personal journey from poverty to success. We welcome author Jimmie James. Good to see you, Jimmie. Your book is really powerful because as someone who's not really that into golf, I was like, I don't know about this. But every course you go to, we hear a story of your life. And it's a powerful story.
Well, thank you, Helen. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. You know, I wrote Playing from the Rough for 3 reasons.
Okay.
One, I wanted to honor my mother. The difference she made in her life, raising 8 kids.
By herself.
By herself. We grew up in poverty, but not a single one of us has spent a day in poverty as an adult. That's not luck, that's not chance.
Right.
That's the power of a powerful woman.
We're looking at your whole family right here. At least your siblings, you and your siblings.
That's us. Those are.
You're all doing well. It's
Yes.
great. It's just great. But talk to me about the times you were living. Was it like a very small shack?
Yeah. So my earliest years were spent in a tin roof, 1-bedroom, living room, kitchen house, a little shack, tin roof, no electricity, no plumbing.
Jim Crow era.
The late Jim Crow era in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So the challenge is not only of poverty for us, and I understood, as you were talking in the earlier segment about food insecurity.
Right.
One of the worst things is to grow up to where you become immune to hunger pains.
Oh.
No child should ever have to experience that. So our life was, we were, I'd say, born in the deepest of the rough.
Yeah.
And we had to overcome that. But we had a mother who instilled in us some very important principles and discipline and hard work. And those things allowed us to overcome the challenges that we were born into.
I mentioned Jim Crow area, late Jim Crow era, because at night you talk about the white boys coming by and screaming the N-word at you kids.
Yeah.
And you just, like, that's just part of the way it was.
At that time, it's what we mean when we say, you know, that's just how it was back then.
Right?
That's how it was back then. That was the norm then. And fortunately, we've progressed beyond that now.
You were the first one in your family to graduate high school?
Yes.
And then you went out to college?
I went to an HBCU, Prairie View A&M University in just northwest of Houston, Texas.
And you studied engineering?
Civil engineering.
Right. Although I did read in your book that you said at first you wanted to be an architect.
For the silliest of reasons.
Tell me.
Mike Brady from the Brady Bunch.
I know, was an architect.
And Wilbur from the amazing Mr. Ed, the talking horse. They were both architects, and they seemed to have really good lives.
Right.
So I thought architecture would lead me to a good life.
Right.
But when I got into architecture, I realized it didn't have as much math and science as I thought. That it was more concerned with the form and shape of things and the aesthetics of things, not the math that allows a structure to stand. That's actually structural engineering, a form of civil engineering, which is what I changed my major to and what I graduated with, a degree in civil engineering.
You went on then to work at Exxon, then it became ExxonMobil,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you became an executive, like doing really well.
Right. So as a kid, I dreamed of one day being a globe-trotting executive. You know, I live vicariously through math problems. I created a life out of math and out of, in social studies, the places that people lived and the lives they lived. And so I dreamed of that, and I had a social worker told me that my dreams were too big.
Oh my goodness.
She meant well.
Yeah.
She really did. So I ignored what she said though, and I continued on my goals, and I had the fortune of being able to work for an amazing company like ExxonMobil and travel around the world and run businesses around the world.
So as you're getting ready to retire, you come up with this idea, because you love golf, to play on the best courses in America, 100 courses in 1 year. And how did that come about?
Well, I needed something a year to transition from a globe-trotting 100-mile-an-hour executive.
Right.
And I couldn't go straight to an idle retirement. So initially, and I wanted to reconnect with this country we have, this amazing country we have. So I was going to travel to all 50 states, play 2 rounds of golf in each. And the math of that is that's 100.
Okay.
Then my wife gave me a book by a guy by the name of John Sabino. And it talked about him playing the world top 100 courses. So I said, and it was just math to me.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to play 100 courses in a year.
Yeah.
Why not just play the 100 best in the country? And it was as simple as that. And these were places that people like me a few decades ago would not have been able to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that became my goal. I hadn't even heard of most of the courses, but that became my goal. And I was going to depend upon the kindness and generosity of others without ever asking for an invite. And that was the amazing part of my journey. This is about not only my story,
right,
but the story of all of the amazing people I met along the way that helped me gain access to these amazing places.
You played at Bandon Dunes.
Love Bandon Dunes.
Yeah, I mean, here you are playing at Bandon Dunes. You had the incredible support of your wife, Erica, and of course your 2 kids as well. So did they ever get tired of hearing you talk about golf? Or like your family, what a beautiful family you have.
Thank you. We're truly blessed. My wife is an amazing woman. Not much gets in her way whatsoever. She sets her mind to something, she gets it done.
Yeah.
And so she actually jump-started all of this for me with an invitation to Augusta National.
Wow.
And that's probably the most hardest course to get access to. So I had the amazing support of my family, my wife, and my kids.
And Oregon means something to you too, I understand, because you were told when you were on the coast of Oregon that you were expecting a child. Your wife surprised you with that.
We were out overlooking the beautiful Columbia River Gorge, and my wife pulled out a pregnancy test
That's awesome.
result that was positive, and it was her letting me know that we were about to expand beyond just the 2 of us and become a larger family. And that's when I learned that, that we were going to have our first child. So awesome. Oregon has always and will always, the Oregon coast will always hold a special place in my heart.
You have a book event, and it's Saturday at 3 p.m. at Powell's Books at Cedar Hills Crossing in Beaverton. We're going to put that information for everyone on our website at k2.com. The book, again, is titled Playing from the Rough. Jimmie James, thank you so much. Great talking with you.
Thank you, Helen. This has been a delight.
All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.